Denny Blanco. Good morning, my guy. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. The question is, how are you?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. Not usually doing my normal intro. We're taping this live Saturday morning, September 28th. Before we get into what we're gonna talk about, if you are a fan of the show, we are doing this live both on X and on YouTube. Find the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, also on Amazon Music. Go ahead, download, rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Show us some love and support for your boys on the program. YouTube.com/Cruise Control Podcast. Denny and I would really appreciate your support. Again, if you're watching live on X on YouTube, feel free to hit us up in the chat. Mainly talk about the blockbuster trade that happened last night with the Knicks and the Timberwolves. So any Knicks fans, Wolves fans, NBA fans that want to come on and just let us know how you feel about the trade, who won, who lost, or whatever. Hit us up in the chat on X or on YouTube. We got some guests coming on in a few minutes. My boy Sean from the Knicks Wall and Mill Sports Media, big time Knicks fans. And I'm pretty sure they have a lot to say about this trade. I don't know how they feel, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. But all I know is that I was at Yankee Stadium last night for the game. And
thanks for the invite. Thanks for the invite, by the way. But Yankee games and stuff. You know how that is.
I mean, listen, it was the Pirates. It was no Judge, no Stanton, no Rizzo. So it was like and they lost.
Great entertainment value.
As we were leaving the stadium, I get a thing on my phone. Bing, Knicks are close to a deal to acquire All-Star Karl Anthony Towns. And I was like, hold up. This the real Shams? Because obviously there's no Woj no more. He retired, no Woj bombs. So I'm like, damn, Shams the guy now. And in this day and age of Twitter, you want to make sure it's the legit person. It's a verified account. Mm-hmm. So I go on the Twitter, do the research. Oh, it's really Shams. So all I see was they were trying to get Towns. Nothing who was going to be coming from New York. I said, okay, this might be Randle. This might be Randle. And then I get the next one. Oh, it's Randle and DiVincenzo. I said, fuck, it's DiVincenzo. I said, damn. And then the timeline is going crazy, and a lot of Knicks fans are doing podcasts and doing their reviews, and I get it. But, bro, before we get into all of that, I called you right away. Usually when a trade happens, I call like 4 or 5 people because you're probably out busy with family, whatever. You're not on the phone. So when I called you, my first thing was, yo, Karl Towns. I didn't say, yo, what's up? What you doing? You had a good day? I said, yo, Karl Towns to the Knicks.
And what I do?
He was like, what? He said, what? I said, yeah, Karl Towns to the Knicks. He said, you sure it's legit? Yo, let me go check. You did your research. Oh, shit. And then you are, finding out the news. And then I said, it's Randle. And then Donte. And he was like, yo, we'll talk in the morning. And I was like, you know what? We'll talk in the morning. It's a lot going on right now. I want to chill, reconvene tomorrow, get some people to come on. Again, if you're watching live on X and YouTube, hit us up with some comments. Any questions about this trade, how you feel, let us know. We're doing it for the people. Denny Blanco, on the surface, what's your first initial reaction to this trade? And is there a winner? Is there a loser? How do you feel for both teams going forward?
Shout out to everyone that's watching the show. Good morning on a Saturday. There's a lot of I read a lot from the reactions last night. Read, saw some folks. Jeff says definitely some folks online talking about the trade. And first and foremost, I don't want to give it a grade because it's too early. I don't know. Yeah, so giving it a grade, giving it an early grade, I won't know until a couple of years from now. But I have so many feelings about, after sleeping on it, I have so many feelings about this trade. I, on the surface, don't like it. On the surface, I don't like it. I haven't been that much of a Karl Anthony Towns fan. That's just me, and maybe that's because of the love for the shout out to Rasheed Wallace.
That's
shout
right.
out to Rasheed. To the traditional big man, the Embiids, your jokers, even though they've added some tool, some wing play to their game, but the traditional big man I've always loved what their job was. Clearly, the big man's job has been changed now to where now it's like, oh, we need threes. We need threes to win. No, you don't. You don't need threes to win. What you need to do is have a combination of twos, threes, and defense. That's how you win chips. If you can't play defense, which clearly the Knicks will be playing right now. I don't see them being any less than the top 3 defensive team in the league. They're probably top 1, top 2, top 3, somewhere with Tibbs.
Right.
So, having stated that, I understand the need. Mitch Robinson, might as well call him Ambulance. I think it's official. You might as well just call him Mitchell Ambulance Robinson, because he's not going to give you more than 50 to 60 games. It's clear. Maybe that injury with his ankle, Embiid induced it. Who knows? Only Mitchell can tell you, but the conversation was the Knicks need a big man. The Knicks, to win a chip, the Knicks need a big man. Next to the big man. I thought it was a big man being added to Mitchell Robinson in terms of Knicks needing a big man. Not so much
like a serviceable big man.
Like how Andre Drummond is down there in Philly. You see how that's working, right? So I know Sims is on the bench and he's not considered a big man. Okay, let's keep him there. I thought an additional big man is what you guys are going to do, but to send your, how do you say, your rough and tough power forward, which is Julius Randle, to the West Coast, I don't know how I sit with that. And then obviously Donte added, clearly Deuce is going to take those minutes. So I understand that. But I read something too. I think shout out to Mills Media. I think she's coming on with us.
Yeah.
She said Donte is the Knicks' best 3-point shooter ever? Like overall?
Oh, because I think he made the most threes
in the
season last year. So I mean, he is the best. He was the best 3-point shooter on the team. Real quick, as we mentioned, we're doing this live. Thank you for watching. Salute. Knicks are top 5 offense, top 10 defense. Now they are going for it. Blood of the Panther. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Also, Cat automatically is the 3rd best big, 2nd best center in the East, and he will roll the East on offense and on defense as it is the weaker conference.
Hey blood. I appreciate you. Number 1. Number 2. Your man is a shooting guard playing center. Let me make sure my mic is on. Your man, Cat, not your man, Blood, because he may not be your man. But whoever Cat fans are, your man is a 2-guard playing on the wing. So when you say he's going to roll on the East on offense, I don't know how that's going to happen, and I don't know about his touches. Please, Rand.
The big men in the East,
Giannis, Embiid, Capella, Bam.
Capella really could. No, okay, hold on. Embiid.
We're talking about offensively, who's going to challenge
4 and 5s? We're talking 4 and 5s.
No, let's talk 4 and 5s because Karl's going to either play. They want. Okay. Did you see the attempt? Did you see the starting lineup that they're talking about throwing out there for the Knicks? They got OG playing the 4
because it is opening night. There's no Mitchell Robinson now. When Mitchell Robinson comes back, then that's gonna. So right now, opening night is supposed to be Brunson, Hart, OG, McHale, and Towns. When Mitchell does come back, the question is, all right, do we slide Mitchell in back at the 5? Karl goes to the 4, like he was with Minnesota and Gobert. You take Josh Hart out the starting line and put him back on the bench. So now it'll be Brunson, McHale, OG, Towns, and Mitchell Robinson. That is, I think that's the route they might go. But right now on open night, that's what they're gonna roll out.
Well, so the time period of having OG at the 4 is going to be concerning for me. Number one, because he's not a 4, he's a 3. That's one. 2, I don't feel warm and fuzzy inside having Mitchell Robinson at the 4, Cat at the 5.
Mitchell won't be the 4. Mitchell will be the 5.
Excuse me. Cat at the 4, Mitchell at the 5. What you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Cat at the 4, Mitch at the 5. How? While Karl Anthony Towns was over in Minnesota, you realize he was always in foul trouble, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell Robinson, how good is he staying out of foul trouble?
Not good.
Yeah. So we have 2 bigs. Technically, your only bigs. Okay. Precious Achiuwa is not considered a big, right? Left, right. So your 2 bigs that you want to start later on down the line. It's foul prone. Really? It's going to be interesting because you have 2 foul prone bigs. You got your one big Mitchell, who's the rebounding god, and the other one who, yes, averages 9 rebounds, but most of them is defensive, not offensive. So I sit back and I'm concerned, even if fast forward down the line, if that's supposed to be the championship starting lineup, Mitch at the 4. Now I'm looking at the top 3 teams that you guys more than likely will see in the finals, either Boston, Philly, or Milwaukee.
Yeah, so let's look at it. The 4 and 5s from Embiid,
Giannis,
Brook Lopez,
and then
hold on. Indiana got Miles Turner.
Yes,
and they got Obi. They got Siakam.
Yes.
Miami got Bam.
Yes.
Who's the other big man for Miami?
I don't believe they have a. Well, let me look up Miami's, and then also you did the Bucks. We did Philly.
Philly was Embiid and what Drummond.
Yep.
As far as I know, Orlando is who?
France. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out now. So they said they got. Yeah, they don't really have a center on Miami. Thomas Bryant and
Cavaliers got Mobley and Jared Allen.
Who's that?
Cavaliers.
Yep. Right.
Jared
right.
Allen
Mobley and Jared. Right. And then you said Orlando's starting 5.
So I think from reading last night and getting, obviously everybody's gonna have an opinion and cool. So also it also educates me and you of like, oh, maybe this is why. So I think this really came down to they felt Cat was a better fit with what this team and what this offense was looking like last year, and the clicking on all cylinders when Randle was out. Because this is now a Jalen Brunson led offense, and now when you bring Mikal Bridges in, that cuts into the time of DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo had a fucking fantastic season last year. When you bring in Mikal, it's going to cut down on somebody's minutes. But Cat being that pick and roll with Brunson and Towns now is going to be something to watch, because now you spread the floor. It's more spacing. Is it just a better, for what I'm seeing, it's a better fit than Randle would have been coming back. Now, I'm just upset that we didn't.
How do you know?
We didn't see everything in its full entirety. Like, we got a little glimpse last year when OG got traded, which the OG trade you was not a fan of, and I called you and I said, "Yo, RJ Barrett and quickly to Toronto for OG," and you said, "I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it." And then later on, you became a fan of it, and you saw what OG was able to do offensively and defensively. He ain't asking for the rock. He'll do his job, sign in, and then leave. But now with the Towns trade, it's like they see him as a better fit. The contract is there for 3 more years. 28 years old. One of the best.
How's he a better fit on the court?
Because he can do more things than offensively than Mitchell Robinson can do. right? They looking at Randle as like, if I give you the ball, it's not coming back out. So that's what I'm saying. Like Towns is gonna go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, I'm shaking my head listening to what you're saying. I'm not trying to interrupt you. I'm just trying to. It was a conversation the other day where, just like they were talking about on Gil's Arena, they were talking about Luka. They were talking about Luka going to Sacramento, and Sacramento already having Fox there, right? So it's kind of like, what do you do? So that's obviously a draft. But in this situation, the concept in that conversation was, why don't you see it first before you say it won't work? Because Vlade Divac was like, oh, we got Fox. Luka's a point guard. It may not work, this, that, and the third. My question to Knicks fans, wouldn't you wanted to see it work first? Or actually, excuse me, wouldn't you want to see the actual presentation to see if it actually worked before you actually pull the trigger?
No, and I agree. And I just said 2 minutes ago that I would have wanted to see what it would look like. That if you were going to trade Randle, maybe by All-Star break, so you could see if it works or doesn't. I do get that part.
Thank you.
But again, from what I'm reading, there was questions about, is he going to be fully healthy? When was Randle going to come back? Training camp is in 4 days. NBA starts off next month. You're going to have Mitchell Robinson and maybe Randle not even be there for opening night. We just don't know. So they're looking at the future like, all right, if I know this guy's healthy in Minnesota, I can go get him, but I got to give up Randle, and the deal ain't happening without DiVincenzo. So it wasn't going to be Randle for Towns straight up. It was going to be, all right, I'll take Randle, but you got to throw in that guy Donte, then we good. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see running back because they were 12-1 when Randle was there and the OG and the Brunson. And we were all good, 12-1. Then he got hurt, and they had to change a lot of things up. But now it's like they somehow, some way, deep down, they were like, I don't think this is going to work or going to happen because of health purposes. And I'd rather get a guy who's going to be, I'm not saying Cat is the most healthiest person either, because not saying he's not injury prone, but he's ready to go now. And I think they're saying that he's the better fit for what Brunson is doing. Now Mikhail's there and the Josh and OG and all that. He's the better fit for this kind of offense.
You know, it's interesting. They're both Scorpios like me, like myself. Cat's birthday's 2 days before mine. And
there we go. There we go. My man said,
yeah. Sure.
What's going on, gang? How y'all feeling?
Good morning. Top of the
morning. I hate Sean.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning.
Yes, sir.
The man is here. It's in the game podcast. I was just, before I hand it off to Sean, because I know Sean has a lot to say. I was just saying to my, just breaking this down, I'll land the plane. Cat is a 7-footer, and this says he's 248 pounds. ESPN. He averages 19 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 assists. Julius Randle is a year older than him, 29, but he averages 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. And before I pass it off to, obviously, Randy, you could, bridge this. Would you call Julius Randle injury prone?
That's for Sean, right?
Either or, Sean or you, anyone. Sean, right? Would you call Julius Randle injury prone?
I wouldn't call Julius Randle injury prone.
Thank you. Now the floor is yours, Randy. Present what you want to present because
we're gonna let Sean rock out. He's one of the diehard Knicks fans that we all know on social media. A great dude, and I know last night when the news dropped, his mom's going crazy. Like, do I like it? Do I love it? Am I 50-50 on it? Do I wait to see what happens? So Sean, talk your shit, man. How do we feel this morning? We got a couple hours under our belt about this trade. It's official. Towns going to New York. Randle and Donte going to Minnesota. As of right now, on the surface, are you liking it? Are you loving it? You hating it? Are you more like, you know what? I gotta wait and see.
I love it. I think that, so we had a space last. First of all, thank you guys for having me. Honor to be here. Pleasure to be here.
Anytime.
You guys are those guys. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. We had a space about it. Like, as soon as I got the first notification and I was like, Knicks are in talks with, I was like, whoa, hold on. And that first notification was from Shams. I was like, well, it's kind of serious. I was like, all right, but I'm not gonna react yet because there's still nothing to talk about. Then I saw another notification where he's like, oh, for Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo. I was like, yo, hold up. I was like, all right, let me see. And then Ian Begley, and once y'all know my guy Begley, once Begley said it, I was like, oh, it's law, it's in stone. So then I started the space, and when I started the space, it's a reaction space. We do reaction spaces all the time. We make a move. And so in the beginning, I started off with like the Michael Scott scream. I'm like, no, like, I'm just like, this is not the way. This is not what I wanted. Like, I spent a long time talking about how Julius Randle is better than Karl Towns and how I don't really like Karl Towns like that, and how he's, he plays soft and I don't need that, and all these things, all things that I said, all things that were pretty true, and I said them. And then just as we continued on through the space, which was really dope, appreciate everybody who pulled up to that, because we kind of processed it together. And I just started thinking, I was like, yo, that 5-out lineup is kind of crazy. I was like, you get Cat at the 5, and now you put Josh Hart out there with Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby, and the whole floor is open for Jalen Brunson. I was like, that's good basketball. And the more I thought about the basketball, and I thank Leon Rose because this is much easier for me. I know a lot of people are dealing with this emotionally, and I want to say shout out to Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo. They were great, and not more so, but more so Julius Randle, just because like everything he meant to this team, what he meant to the city. We had our ups and downs with him as a fan base at times. He had his ups and downs in terms of performance and effort at times, but at the end of the day, man, he came here when nobody wanted to be here. He came here and we were a laughing stock. We missed out on Kyrie and KD. Everybody was clowning us, and it's funny because at that moment when we missed out on him, I said, I want us to get Julius Randle. I wanted Julius Randle for a while. I felt like he was really cost-effective, had potential. He came here, became an all-star, multiple-time All-NBA. I hadn't seen an All-NBA player on my team since Melo, and before that, since, so I'm very thankful for them, very thankful for the time. But December 30th, 2023 prepared me for this, right? I woke up in the morning. I had some bad personal news. I had like a job I flew out to New York for. They canceled the program once I got there. I flew out there on Christmas morning. They canceled the program like 3 days later. I was sick. It was at a really bad time for me. I was sick. And then after I got that call and I hung up the phone, I saw a notification that they traded RJ and Quick, who are my favorite players. And I was just like, no way. I was broken. And so at that point, I got to a point where I can let go of the emotions. Like, okay, like, emotionally, I wanted these guys here, but this move is good for the team. I see OG on the court and the effect he has on both sides. It's like, I can't argue with the basketball. And so losing Julius hurts, losing Donte hurts, but like, I can't argue with the basketball. Losing Donte doesn't hurt as much on the court, although I will miss him. He did a great job. I thoroughly and greatly appreciate him for removing Evan Fournier from my record books. That was very important. If he did nothing else, he got Evan Fournier out of my record books. You feel me? That game 2 shot will never be forgotten. He was a playoff riser. He dropped 38 in game 7. We were depleted and all that. So always shout out to Donte DiVincenzo. But at the end of the day, in the role he was playing this year, and apparently that's kind of like, he wasn't as thrilled about this Villanova thing as everybody else. I say apparently, and I underline and bolden the words apparently because I don't know anything. But apparently he wasn't as thrilled with this Villanova thing as everyone else. And I can understand that on a personal level. It's like you came here, you kind of, you took a deal where, you got good value for the team. You're on a 4-year, $50 million contract. It's like the least you could do is play out what you earn. You earn the right to start. Now you feel like, okay, I've shown that I can score 20 points a game in this league and play both sides of the floor and be one of the best shooters in the NBA, 3rd most 3-pointers in the NBA last year. And I was with him like not starting for the majority of the year. So it's just like, if that guy feels like he can go somewhere else and get a bigger opportunity, he doesn't want to be relegated to the bench and the opportunity is in, I can't be mad at that. So on a personal level, I'm wishing the best always. Wish Julius the best always. I'm rooting for Minnesota 80 games out of 82 during the regular season. And until they get to the finals, we got to stomp them. I really appreciate those guys. But I think that coming into this year, Dante's role was going to be a little bit reduced. And I think that between Deuce and Tyler Kolek, I don't think we lose much. I'm very happy about Deuce getting a bigger opportunity. I feel like Deuce earned that opportunity. He's on a very cost-effective contract. He continues to improve. He's a defensive stalwart. He was shooting seams off the basketball last season. He's only going to get better. I think Deuce is an early favorite, in my opinion, for 6th man of the year. I think Tyler Kolek is now in the rotation. He's going to be really good for us. I saw him in Summer League, and Kevin Knox trained me not to overreact to Summer League, so I don't really react to Summer League too much. But I was just watching Tyler, and I was just like, his feel for the game is just different. Like he plays almost like, like he patterned his game after Brunson. So just having that guy out there, I kind of already trust him with the ball in his hand. So I'm looking forward to that. But when you think about Jalen Brunson coming off a pick and pop with Karl Towns, and that defender having to defend Jalen Brunson with nobody in the paint and all that space, and now the way the teams are blitzing Brunson, it's like, where are you going to blitz him from now with 5 out? I think that makes us that's a big deal for us. And we were asking the question in the space yesterday, hey, are we a better team now? And I was like, I can't say whether we're better or not until I see us on the court, but I can say we had questions yesterday that we don't have today. Going into the season, it was like, damn, if Mitch isn't playing until December or January, I was here talking to myself and all right, man, either Preston or Jericho gonna have to start at the 5 and we're gonna make that work. And we don't have to do that now. Now we got Karl Towns. It's the valid start at the 5. I don't think they believed in the whole Julius at the 5 thing as much because of the size, rim protection. It is what it is. But this team, the franchise, everything about this organization is what is the most optimal way to surround Jalen Brunson with talent that can help him win. And I think that this may be a more optimal way. I love Julius Randle. I don't think anything that I ever said about him being better than Cat or things like that, I don't think they were untrue. Of course, I'm going to say that Karl Towns is better now because he's a Knick. That's just how it is. Best
of course.
Sniper. Best shooting we've ever seen. Can't wait to see 32 in the Raptors next to 33. But, there's just different moments and different fits. And so what Karl Towns did last year, I mean, I think that he played pretty well. He played pretty well despite being a little out of place. When they brought in Rudy Gobert, they kind of made the floor a little weird for him. And he adjusted. He committed defensively. I think that as a 5, especially, Tips can get the most out of him defensively. Karl Towns is a very capable defender. We've seen him do it in the NBA. Honestly, I don't know if people remember this far back. I'm kind of old now. But, in college in Kentucky, he was like a defensive wizard. Like, he was all over the place. He was like the Swiss Army knife defender of defenders. Yeah. And if he can tap into even a little bit of that, bro, the ceiling is very high for this team. And I don't think we're done. I also trust in Leon Rose with my life. And so I'm fully confident. I'm very excited about the season. I'm glad this happened now as opposed to earlier in the summer because I hate speculating. I'm trying to see it on the court like right now. So we got content day Monday. We're going to see the guys in action soon, and I just can't wait for it. I can't wait to binge training camp interviews like they mean the world to me.
So, Denny, before you go, got a couple comments in this
please
in the section. Mel, they should have traded for Naz Reid. He's the backup center in Minnesota to Rudy. I think they want to keep Naz Reid. Naz Reid is the reason why they got rid of Cat. So
exactly.
So I mean, I would love Naz Reid, but
Minnesota got him in a chokehold.
Minnesota's not doing that. Brandon Donte lost big minutes once we got Bridges. I felt that.
That's why he had to go.
Brandon said Cat can go toe to toe with Embiid. They have thrown down before, which we seen that before. The man right here is a big fan. Cat is going to average 30.
Whoa! 30, 26? Wait. 36 from 19? Really?
And one more. Marvin, Cat is not better than Julius. This trade can move us forward or set us back. His salary is ridiculous.
4 years, $200 million.
I know what Marvin said. I want to say I know what Marvin said, right? Because at a point, one of my points of contention when I didn't want Cat was, he makes $50 million. I'm not trying to pay anybody $50 million. Julius Randle was making $31 million this year. And when he was going to be up to be paid again, he wasn't going to take the same money. He wasn't going to take less money. He was going to be making at least $40 million, which he would have been worth. And so now when you say he's going to be making at least $40 million and you compare that to Cat's 49, it's not that different. I personally, once Jalen took his $100 million pay cut and locked in, I don't care about the salary cap anymore. Don't care. Jalen's here. Mikal is here. He's going to lock in. He's going to want to stay here. He's going to extend. Mitch is paid. Deuce is paid. Josh Hart is paid. Everybody's paid. Don't worry about Dolan's pockets. It's okay.
When you talk about strategy, and you mentioned the 5 out, Sean, you mentioned the 5 out, you got excited. And we was talking about it online. You said we're going to hash it out. I said, I need to hash it out because I'm imagining this 5 out, and it works if you're hitting shots. But if you're not hitting shots, it could become a concern. It doesn't seem like you're concerned because Cat, I told folks earlier, Cat's a 2-guard and a 5 body. Let's just be clear, okay?
I don't think that's fair.
You think that's fair, right?
Fair.
You don't think that's fair? You don't think he's a 2 guard and a 5 body? Please.
I think it's fair to say that Cat is a bit soft. He be changing his voice and all kind of stuff. But Cat can bang. Cat can bang in the post. Cat will get down there and dunk on somebody. He's not like a 2 guard. Like you can call him a soft 5. You can't call him a 2.
Okay. So let me just call. See, I think it's a better way to just say he's a 2 guard and a 5 body. You want to call him a soft center if that makes it better. He's a soft Twinkie center. I want somebody like Randle was a bear down there. When he got down there, he was a bear, and that was the most aggression the Knicks had with Randle. And that's what I think is missing. I hope Karl brings that. I hope Cat brings that to the Knicks. But when you're going to be dealing, we just talked about your Giannis's, your Lopez's. We just obviously you're gonna see some Porzingis. You're going to see, I don't know who Boston's going to leave at the 4. I don't believe they're going to leave Tatum there. That would be stupid. And then obviously you have Drummond and then you have Embiid. So I'm looking at it where it's Cat's going to, for example, Philly is going to get abused down low by Embiid at the 5. Coming back, he better work that one knee that Embiid has. And I think he's going to play him on the wing. We're going to see, but that's the strategy. And I don't know. Again, I'm landing the plane. I don't know if that's the best strategy. We're going to see going forward. You don't want to give this. You want to actually give a grade on this trade, or is it too early to tell who won? By the way,
me.
Hold up.
Yes, you, Sean. Forget Randy. He's not here. Forget.
I'm looking at salary. I'm looking at salary.
Yeah. I speak to Randy every day. F him. I'm talking to you, Sean.
I can't give a grade on the trade until I see it on the court.
Right.
But also, I think this is another one of those trades where both teams win, man. Like the Toronto trade, I think both teams won. I think getting RJ and IQ is exactly what they needed. They weren't going to pay OG, so they got good value. They got guys they can build around. And, they can move forward with that. We got what we needed. So both teams won that trade. I think with Minnesota, they, weren't really going to pay Cat. We weren't really going to play Julius. And Randall's a really good fit. I think him and Anthony Edwards are going to be a monster 1-2 punch. Donte's going to provide shooting and spacing for them. And they're going to be a really solid team. Again, they're going to be a deep playoff run. And we're going to do our thing. We're a contender. This made us yes, Julius is a bully. And we're going to miss that. But, we're just going to miss that style. The style changing doesn't mean you got worse. It's just a different style now. It's going to look different out there. Don't sleep on it. I'm not going to lie, man. I said this during the playoffs. In the playoffs, Josh Hart was a top 25 NBA player, in my opinion. I was just like, yo, this guy is ridiculous. He's all over the boards. He's getting downhill. He's drawing defenders. He's kicking out. I think Josh can easily average a smooth 14 points, 12 boards, 5 assists this season. And that's great production to get out of him. So, and Mikal, we talked about this yesterday in the space as well. It's just Mikal is a playmaker we weren't thinking about as much because of having Julius out there. But now it's Mikal is probably option 3, but he's a secondary playmaker. And I think he'll really thrive in that role. In Phoenix, he was kind of option 3, option 4 sort of. And then people started getting hurt. And you saw when Chris Paul went down, they kind of put the ball in his hands more. And it was hey, this guy can pull a little more and stand in the corner. Then he got to Brooklyn. And he was option 1, but he was surrounded by, dumpster juice. And so that was just not really a good situation for him. But even then, come on, man. You watched it. You saw it.
and you know what, Sean? I think to your point, I did tweet out last night that, I know we were looking at one side, but then, how does this work for Minnesota? So I'm I like it for Minnesota. I think because Western Conference Finals, you get rid of the log jam you had with Gobert and Towns, which was the big problem once Gobert got there. You bring in more offensive firepower for Ant-Man, so Ant-Man doesn't got to get 25 and 30 every night. He could, but you're getting when healthy a 25 and 10 guy in Randle. You're getting one of the best 3-point shooters in the league in Donte DiVincenzo. You still got the veteran point guard in Mike Conley. Now, if they would have improved that portion of the roster, like a younger point guard,
that's all they need.
That's all they need right now.
That's all they need.
And they drafted, they got Rob Dillingham in the draft.
They got Rob Dillingham. They kept Nas Reed. They got McDaniel. So I'm I think when it's all said and done, both teams won out.
Yeah, both teams won. Again,
it's Denny's the one we got to convince because Sean, on this program back in December, when I called him about Quickly and RJ going to Toronto, and he said, "Who do we get back?" I said, "You got OG back," and it was a point guard at the time, Malachi, something like that, right? And he said, "I don't like it. I don't like it." And I said, OG is the one of the best wing players out there, right? Off two-way wing players, offense, defense. He don't need a rock. He ain't gonna need 20, 35 shots. He gonna clock in, clock out, do his job and get out. And then as time evolved, okay, OG is the better fit than Quickly and RJ. Now we're doing the same thing all over again with Donte and Randle and Towns, where again, for what I'm reading, we haven't seen one play yet. But pick and roll, pick and pop. Now, Mitchell Robinson can't do the pick and roll with Brunson. Like, you gotta guard the big man now. That's the name of the game now. Whether you're Brook Lopez, your Jokic, your fucking
Valanciunas even has a 3 now.
Your Miles Turner, all them guys that we got to guard at the 3-point line now that could beat you off the dribble now. No, come out here, guard me. If not, pump fake, I attack the basket, double team, kick out. Now that's the portion we were not getting last year, but now I think it opens the door. This is a Jalen Brunson-led offense. We all know that. But I think as far as fit on paper, I think Cat is the better fit for the roster right now. Doesn't mean Randle was bad or Donte was bad, because they're going to cook in Minnesota.
Sean, I thought the Knicks were the number 2, the Knicks in the East. Without the trade of Cat, was going to be number 2. Basically the number 2 best team in the East without the trade. With the trade being done, how more convinced are you that this team can beat the Boston Celtics in a 7-game?
Sean, before you go, Daryl, don't forget Cat was the best one-on-one post defender in the postseason to the Wolves. For the Wolves, he was the primary defender on Jokic as an example. And last time I checked, he beat Jokic to go to the conference finals.
All right, Daryl, my bad.
Talk about it, Daryl. Talk about it.
All right, Daryl, my bad.
For right now, we still have Mitch for those matchups as well. Like, Mitch is still on the roster. So it's like, and when you said the thing about Embiid, then do you hate anybody?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
I have a long list. Say again?
That hate fuels
you. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Karl Towns hates Joel Embiid. Like, that's already, they have like a war. You're not going to let nobody bust your ass when you hate them.
Okay.
You're going to figure it out. But like Randy was saying, man, team, you got to come out here and dance now. When we set that screen, you can't just go and drop coverage and double Jalen. You got to come out here and dance. What are you going to do? And so I think, honestly, I had us at number 1 before this. I got us at number 1 after this. I think we're a better team than the Celtics. Of course, barring health, of course, we need health. I pray to God for health.
Yes.
You mentioned health.
I need 70 games from OG this year.
See, that's where it's tough, because you're saying that with multiple players on the Knicks now. Right? You're saying you need that from Karl Anthony Towns. You need it from OG, right? Those are 2 cogs that your list and Mitchell, excuse me. So you got 3 cogs that more than likely, if they get a Band-Aid, it's going to throw off the synergy of the Knicks. Now, again, last year that with injuries and so forth, you guys survived. You guys actually thrived with these injuries. This year, the depth has increased. Donte is going clearly. So my fear is just this. He put your man Embiid in a headlock, but didn't put your man Draymond Green in a headlock when he's holding your boy. Sidebar, Karl.
Oh, God.
If anyone attacks Jalen Brunson, if anyone wants to rough up your boy Jalen, you're on duty, right? You know that, right? You're the guy that's going to have to make things happen if they want to bully Jalen Brunson. I want you to know this off rip. What do you say to that, Sean?
Well, one, Cat's not the guy for that. I'm the guy for that. They want to bully Jalen Brunson. They got a problem with me. But also, we got Marcus Morris on the roster.
That's right.
OG has shown he's a business standard on it. We got plenty of guys. We got Josh Hart not letting nobody bully Jalen Brunson.
Of course not. No.
Leon Rose not letting nobody bully Jalen. Jalen Brunson will be protected.
Nah.
All right, Jalen Brunson. Nobody's playing with Jalen Brunson. Not on my watch, not on anybody on the roster's watch. Protect Jalen Brunson at all costs, always. So I'm with that. I wouldn't jump in for Rudy Gobert either. So I'm gonna reserve my judgment on that. I don't like that guy. And
So I don't want to picture a game where Karl Anthony Towns gets thrown to the ground, for example. Let's say Embiid throws him to the ground, and Jalen's looking at him like, "Get up, bro! Like, why are you on the ground again?" I don't want that type of energy from my center. Nevertheless, again, the concept is simple. Health is needed for the Knicks to continue to be number 2. I'm sure everyone is excited to see what Cat does. It's going to be early. Do you think he averages more than 19? Do you think he stays in averages more? Yeah. So yeah, that guy was like 32, 12, and 10. I think that was a little extra.
Blood said 30, 12, and 6. I'm not gonna lie, man. Blood is right a lot. Like 30 is a little high. Kind of high. I'll put him in like 26, 27.
I like that.
30. I'm rolling with Blood. I'm not gonna lie.
How athletic is Cat to guard big men on the perimeter? So now we're getting the opposite now.
That's tough. He's gonna be tough on the wing. Cat can't guard a park car again. So we had last year. Thank you, Clem. Shout out to Clem Boog. I told him about the show. Salute to you for jumping in. Clearly, last year he had a good. Can Cat actually play as a big man and not just chill outside? Thank you, Clem. Of course, basketball players are all thinking the same exact thing. We spoke about that earlier. That's been the question, and obviously, Sean is saying. Yeah, Sean is saying, no, he's going to get aggressive. See, New York's a different animal. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, it's in the game podcast. It's your boy Sean, Randy J. Cruz. Thank you for watching. Understand this. It's a different game in New York City.
That's a fact.
Different media. Different expectations. Different crowd watching you. You're going to have Ben Stiller watching you, big boy.
Shout out my guy.
There you go. Oh my God. Ben, we're gonna get you on. Ben, we're gonna get you on the show. I'm not even worried about it. You're gonna have Mr. Ferrara watching you. Shout out to Farrar Turtle. We're gonna get him on the show too. You're gonna have him watching you, okay? You're gonna have Chris Rock watching you, okay?
Oh man,
these guys are gonna be watching you. There you go. These guys are gonna be watching you and critiquing you, and they're not afraid. These gentlemen, amongst other people, are not afraid, like Sean and those folks, are not afraid to say, "Hey guys, you're playing terribly. What are you doing?" And the question will be: Is Karl Anthony Towns ready for those expectations?
Marvin, guys, we have to gel. Orlando is deep in the front court. They have size of bench before this trade. Before this trade, we were good.
I love you. I love me some Orlando, Marvin. Don't get it twisted.
Got a few more. Darryl, def matters for the regular season, but when you're only focused on competing for chips, the only thing that matters is making sure you have your top 7, 8 healthy.
No, you have 7 and 8 right now that are diesel. Question is, will they be able to go through 82 games and then the playoffs? That is the question with the 7 and 8.
Knicks haven't had legitimate championship aspirations since the 2000s. The team's going to be moving different. And I think Sean, that's the thing we're not talking about as much. Because I think with any team, real quick, as I'm looking, the Knicks have the 3rd best odds of winning the finals behind Boston and the Thunder. Boston, Thunder, New York, Philly, and Minnesota.
There you go.
Knicks at a plus 750.
Can we take a second? Can we take a second for that real quick?
Please.
Because this is the first time in my life the Knicks have top 3 odds for anything but the draft lottery. So we need to. Bro, I was just
gonna get to that because I think what fans need to realize as we make these trades and our fan favorites go out the door, the Knicks are in a prime position. Like, we're talking about conference finals conversations. We're talking about NBA finals conversations. We haven't had those combos in 24, 25 years.
Expectations.
And I think, a lot of the fan base now who are young were not around to see the last time the Knicks made the finals or conference finals. I was around.
99.
I was in high school.
99.
I saw the Pacers and the Spurs and all those battles. I'm like, damn, you know what? We could get there. We can get back next year. And that next year was next year. You know what? Next year. And 7 coaches and all these players and all these GMs have gone by, and now we're at a time where the fans got to really understand, like, damn, whatever Leon Rose is doing, it's like he's doing this because it's his job. 2 is putting the best team together for the long haul. Not just no band-aid, 2 year guys, and we'll see what happens. No, everybody's 28, 27 years old on the roster right now, 26 years old. And it's like these moves are strategically being made to win a championship or at least get to the conference finals. We got to a semis 2 years ago against Miami. Cool, great. We got to a game 7 conference semis last year. If we weren't injured, we'd be in the conference finals and maybe, dare I say, NBA finals. And now it's like we're going for it. So whatever moves are being done and being made, I think it's smart moves, it's intelligent moves, and we're not just doing it just to, you know, win the back pages anymore. This is we're going for it, and like you said, to be a 3rd best odds to win an NBA championship. I haven't heard that in over 25 years.
Shout out to guys. I want to also to It's in the Game podcast. Sean, Randy J. Cruz, thank you for joining us. Please, if you haven't followed the It's in the Game podcast, Sean or Randy or me, please give us a follow. We appreciate it. I want to give a big shout out to Mr. James Dolan. Please, I just want to give a quick shout out to Mr. James Dolan for understanding in business. Sometimes you got to, make a decision where you let someone else come in and handle it. And that guy's Leon Rose. And Mr. Leon has since he stepped foot in New York City with his experience and his wisdom and his relationships, has built the New York Knicks into one of the premier basketball teams in the NBA. Randy J. Cruz, Sean, what turnaround is this? How many years has it been? 3, 4? Is this the 4th year for Leon?
Just about, yeah.
Up in 2019, but mid-season, like February. So this is
third 4 year, probably give it a window, and their turnaround is legit. For the next 4 or 5 years, the Knicks should be expected to be the top 3 team in the East and should be competing for something. Shout out to the winter championship. Yeah. That winter championship that they created.
I need that too.
See, Sean wants it all. Yeah, Sean wants it all. He wants the midseason. He wants Jalen to win in midseason MVP. What you talking about, Randy? What we got on the screen?
No, good point, Clem. These moves are being made because Brunson took a historic discount on his extension.
Sean mentioned it earlier. Mind you, I was shocked as anyone that this young man took a discount when he didn't deserve it. I'll repeat it again. He took a discount, Jalen Brunson, when he did not deserve to take a discount. He actually should have been overpaid for what he brought to the Knicks. But he said, you know what? I'm good. I got my crew here. I got my crew from college here. I'm comfortable with my dad. I got the organization believing in us. I'm home. And it's New York City. I'm good. How many players actually do that? Randy, talk to me.
I got a question for Sean. I know he'll keep it real.
Always.
If the Knicks keep Hartenstein, are we talking about this deal right now today?
Hell no.
Not at all. It wasn't it wasn't possible for us to keep Hartenstein, but no, we're definitely not talking about this deal if we keep Hartenstein.
Yeah. No.
So do you feel better? Like, all right, we lost Hartenstein, damn, but now we have Karl Towns on board.
This is no slight to Isaiah Hartenstein, who is a phenomenal player and did phenomenal things for us. I think with the role that Hartenstein was in and the things he did, I think that having Karl Towns is like the super Hartenstein. Like, I think that, like Hartenstein is really skilled, but like Karl Towns is skill as a big, skill with the ball, ability to attack. That little floater that Hartenstein was getting off, like Karl has a series of moves that he can get to in that position. When the defense is trying to focus on Jalen, he's able to dump it off. When Karl gets the ball at the high post, he's also a very good passer. Like, I think we're going to see a lot of that. I think we're going to see him fit in that role very well and like kind of redefine what we think of the center position.
It's interesting. Now that we've got it, Sean here that's saying the Knicks are. Excuse me, Sean saying number one team in the East. I'm saying number 2 behind Boston. But what's interesting is as I'm thinking in the future, Denny Blanco, the NBA whisperer, as I'm just looking at these trades and expecting it, putting the game on simulation, if you will. And I'm like, all right, no injuries. And I'm looking at the West and I'm asking myself, the Knicks make the NBA Finals, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Hypothetically, and then I'm like, okay, in the West, if they met up with Minnesota,
just imagine.
Whew, Black baby Jesus. Whew, if they happen to meet up with Minnesota,
it could happen. It could happen.
Possibly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If the storylines would storylined, oh, that would be so beautiful. But I'm looking at the lineups. I'm looking at OKC. I'm looking at Minnesota.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Denver, and I'm asking myself, do the Knicks have enough to beat any of those teams? And then I pass it off to Sean, and Sean says, what?
Oh, most certainly. Most certainly.
OKC.
Most certainly. There's not a team in the league that I fear.
That's right. Talk to him. But
there's not a team in the league that I fear. Because at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, like with the basketball, you got to ask the questions. Okay, like what does another team going to throw at us offensively? I have 2 elite defensive wings to throw at anybody you have. You know, then I have the big of whether Karl Towns, especially when playoff time comes around, if Mitchell Robinson is healthy, I'm cool there. You know, so it's like defensively, I'm not worried about what anybody's going to throw at us. And then how are you going to stop us? That's my question to almost everybody in the league. I remember when I was watching Jalen in the playoff series in the Dallas versus Utah series, and he had Rudy Gobert looking like he didn't know what zip code he was in. And it was in Utah. It was a home game. Mm-hmm. And, you know, like, because he was coming around into the paint and it was just him and Gobert, like one-on-one, because they had Maxi Kleber, who was a stretch 5. So the paint was open. We haven't even seen Jalen Brunson with an open paint yet. And he was killing last year. So when Jalen Brunson is turning those corners now, when he comes up that screen, he turns the corner and they can't double or they switch, and it's him and the big who had to step all the way out because you couldn't drop off Karl Towns. I don't know what teams are going to do about that, you know, and he's going to be surrounded by shooters and Josh Hart. But, you know, shooters, you know, Josh might surprise us, shoot 36% from 3 next year. I need it, please. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's going to be a sight to see. I think his assist numbers will go up. He's going to take it to yet another level. I think his like, you know, I remember Jalen's first year here was really his first season of his career shooting pull-up threes. And, like, I was like, he's going to shoot the pull-up three. He's going to take his game to another level. And it did. And coming into last season, I was like, he's going to expand on that and increase his volume and range. And it's going to take his game to even another level. And he did that too. And so I expect this year, like, we're going to see another level of Jalen Brunson. And it's going to, just by the natural progression of his game, and it's going to be unlocked by the paint being open. It's going to be, book it right now. Put your bets in. Jalen Brunson MVP. I said last year he was going to be top 5 in MVP voting. I said it before the season. I said it in August. Lo and behold, top 5 in MVP voting. Jalen Brunson MVP.
I you know what I want to see for 48 minutes? I want to see Jalen Brunson doing his dance. I want to see some pick and rolls between Jalen Brunson and Cat. You know what? I want to see that in 48 minutes. I want to see Mikal Bridges guard Dame Dollars for 48 minutes. That's what I want to see. Or OG Anunoby. You know, I want to see Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum getting 48 minutes of OG and Mikal Bridges. I want to see that. I want to see Ice Tray get 48 minutes of Mikal Bridges. That's what I want to see. I want to see Jimmy Butler get 48 minutes of OG and Ovi. I'm so excited because once it seems as if, shout out to, the other person we need to shout out, Coach Tibbs. It seems as if Coach Tibbs, that's right, Coach Tibbs, once he has a defensive strategy, he sticks with it. So if he sees that it's bothering you, he's not going to change. So I expect OG Mikal to have great defensive seasons as well. And it's going to be high entertainment value watching Orlando. Definitely Banchero's going to get some. Banchero's going to get some of Mikal.
Banchero.
And my man Banchero, shout out to Bank. He's going to get some work from Mikal and my man OG. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited for what the future holds and how this Knicks team is going to pan out. MVP Jalen Brunson. Shout out to SGA. Hartenstein's a better fit and much tougher. Absolutely, Clem. That is true.
Yo, Sean, did you see the video of Hartenstein working out? Bro.
So here's the thing, right?
I didn't see it.
I saw the video and he looks great. He does, but he's also
Right.
playing against me out there. Like he's in a regular gym run. Like it's not.
Okay. He was in the gym.
It's a regular.
I get it, but you're seeing him.
Mitchell Robinson looks crazy in those videos. When Mitchell Robinson is in the gym, he be coming down and crossing over and stepping back, shooting threes.
Yeah.
Like it's a regular gym run. He's a big NBA player, but he does look good. But like he's not doing anything that's like whoa. Like it's a regular gym run. If the season comes around, he's coming down, bringing the ball down court and hitting step back threes. Hey man, you got it.
I'm saying I'm looking like I thought I was looking at a guard. The way he was,
he looked great though. He looked great.
He needs to develop too. Anyway, so he's still. What's interesting? He's still developing Isaiah Hartenstein, and he got paid for the potential of where that development is going to go.
And you know what's crazy, bro? It's really crazy how sometimes trades happen, and then we send our all-star to like. Back in the day, like, oh, you're going to Detroit, Sacramento, non-playoff teams. Hartenstein, OKC, you could be in the finals next year. Randle and Donte, you could be in the conference finals or NBA finals next year. We put you in good places.
They're probably going to play each other in the conference finals.
Oh, OKC in Minnesota? Wow.
Easy. Yeah, easy. Easy.
All I want to know is Sean going to be at the Garden January 17th? Randle and Donte come back to the Garden, Minnesota at the Knicks.
Wow.
I feel like I need
Friday
to be,
night,
man.
by the way. Friday night.
Hey, Randy, hold it down. We're talking about it on camera. I feel like I need to be, but I look at them ticket prices. I'm like, I got to choose my games wisely this year.
There you go. New York Knicks. Well, listen, they got salaries to pay. Your man Cat is getting paid 40-50 million. So come on, Sean, pay his salary now.
They're giving us quite a product, but like, damn, man, supply and demand is crazy. So, I'm at the home opener for sure. I hope you guys are out there. Best.
This was terrible.
Never. And, I'm gonna be as many games as I can this year.
Nice. This was terrible. Never got to see the team we had. Cat is a good player, but not a winner. Oh, you know what I wanted to ask? Yeah, that's right. That's what I asked Randy earlier. Would you have wanted to actually see the product first before the trade? And I think, did we ask that already or no? Did you, like, for example,
you asked me, not him.
Yeah, I asked Randy earlier. I was like, well, why not wait, see if Randle, because the conversation is, Randy's a ball stopper, he's gonna hold the ball, and I was like, but we don't even know that. We didn't see the product yet. So the question would be is, would you wanted to see actually it either work or not work before you do the trade for Cap?
Yes and no, right? Like, I really enjoyed that stretch last season after the trade. We were like 14-2. We were punching teams. Jalen and Julius were both dropping 30 every night. And so I was very excited for that version of the team. I thought Julius was going to be great this season. I think he's still going to be great in Minnesota. So I would have liked to be able to see that team. However, if you're leaning toward making this move, I'd rather it be done before the season than mid-season. I don't want to have, this is a really big move to make mid-season. You got to change the style of the team. Let's just come into training camp, know exactly what our identity is, know exactly what we're doing, and hit the ground running for 82 games.
That makes perfect sense. I can understand that.
And I think we talk about Towns and everything, but I think, like as Sean mentioned, Randle was the guy that in 2019, Knicks trying to get some free agents. They're looking at Durant, looking at Kyrie, and then we struck out on both of them. That's when Dennis became a Net fan. But Randle was the guy that took a chance on us. It's facts. It's facts, bro. Like, bro, I remember it was June 30th, 2019. Yo, you see my squad? You see my team? I said, who? You see Brooklyn? I said, Brooklyn. You got Katie and Kyrie. I said, what? Since when? Since when? You see my squad? Then it got worse for Harding right there. Oh my God, leave me alone, bro. Stop.
Stop raking me through the coals because management and players are off of the reservation. They're doing what they want. Stop raking me through the coals.
I can offer Dennis tomorrow. Yo, I got a ticket to Brooklyn Nets tomorrow night. He gonna tell me any reason why he can't go. Working, man. It's raining. I can't. All this.
It's raining.
Now I live in Jersey now. I can't make it to Brooklyn, but To your point about Randle, he was a guy. Like, again, there was ups, there were downs, but he was a guy that spearheaded this team into being a formidable roster, to be relevant again. The first 2 years of the bubble, we get and everything, I get it. But 121 got here. It was playoffs. We missed out on 22. And he got to 23 and 24. Like, he was the guy that made it seem like, all right, I want to come play here. I want to, as a free agent or as a player on the team, like I want to be traded here. Like, he was a guy that kind of spearheaded everything, and that does not go unnoticed. A good dude off the court doing a lot of community stuff with the school. So it's like, that's the kind of guy, like, damn, I gotta trade him, and that's what he does for us in our city. But everything comes back to it being a business, and it's like, yo, I get all that. I love the dude, but everybody, yo, I want to win a title, and if the best thing for my team to win a title is to get rid of X, Y, and Z, the fans gonna be like, yo, I love you, bro, but I want this now because we're starving for it. We need it. We're right there. And a couple more moves here and there, I could be right at the fucking top of the summit. But those guys like Donte, cool dude, everything, and Randle, like that does not go unnoticed.
There's a lot of haters. There's a lot of hate. You Knicks fans. Hey, you Knicks fans. See, I'm a hater, and I love the hate.
You're the biggest hater, like Kendrick said. You're the biggest hater.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Having stated that, it's a lot of folks that Boston fans. Paul Pierce says you won't win a chip in your lifetime, and I want all you media people, the folks that are supposed
to, himself, by the way, he shouldn't have spoken that over himself.
Well, listen, I want the media. I want the main media, your guys that are getting paid all this good money up top, that's talking bad about the Knicks. Stay on that side, please. Don't bring up the Knicks for the whole season. Once you say that they're not going to do anything and you believe in that, don't bring them up. Don't bring them up, because that's what happened last year. You poo-pooed them in October. You poo-pooed them. Then you poo-pooed them again in December. Then all of a sudden, April's like, oh, wait, it's the Knicks. Nope. Stay on that side, bro. You pour everybody on that hateration of the Knicks. Stay on that side. This is Denny Blanco, and I approve this message.
Not gonna lie, stay on that side from you is hilarious.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because if I tell Dennis, yo, I got one ticket left, yo, what's up? We out, we good.
The Knicks, baby, is like $1,000 a ticket. I don't hate good basketball. I don't hate good trades. I'm an objective. I can look at basketball teams objectively. Sometimes your boy Randy can too. Sometimes he cannot. So I have to be here to be the voice of reason for him. And I have been for Randy. True or false, Randy? Have I not been the voice of reason for you for the past 8 or 9 years?
You're right. Like Sean, he all jokes aside, he's gone back saying, you got to get rid of Fournier. You got to get rid of Kimba. Need a better point guard. Tibbs at the time is like a microwave. Everybody's an air fryer now. He got to adapt. He got to, get with the times. And now it's like, all right, we did that. We did that. We did that. And now it's like, what else? What else is there to do?
I'm applauding everything that you've listened to over the years. I'm applauding you because yes, I am a hater, but I hate for good reason. I put my hate on the table and I back it up with facts, with statistics, with information. I'm just not out there just throwing nonsense out like some of these other gentlemen and young ladies are on the internet just saying things for clicks and baits. You will not get that on It's in the Game podcast. Randy J. Cruz, I hate Sean, okay? The Knicks, finals or bust from what I hear from Sean. Finals or bust, Randy, same as you? Finals or bust? Oh, come on, bro.
Come on, man.
Finals or bust, Randy?
A bust for real? Like, really? Come on, man.
Randy, Randy, come on. You got guys getting paid millions of dollars now. Come on now.
What I would say is, if I had this team for 5 years and I ain't win no chip, then I could tell you, oh man, this year's finals a bust because we seen it, we experienced it. We ain't get no dubs, bro. I ain't get one play yet.
Let me try again. Let me try again. Eastern Conference Finals a bust.
I would say we got to get to the conference finals.
Eastern Conference Finals a bust. Okay, I just want to make sure. I just want to know the level. I just want so we can reconvene. I just want to know the level where it's just like, okay, no. I just want to see. That's this trick for the Knicks, right? See, previously you wouldn't have any expectations. It would just be.
No, you know why? Because now that question was deservingly going to Boston last year. When you say, "Yo, is it conference finals or NBA finals or bust?" Right? Because they went to the finals in 22. They lost in Game 7 and 23 on the home floor, right?
That's fair.
Now in 24, you can say Boston, what's up? Finals a bust now, and then they got through it and they won. The Knicks, we just got Towns 12 hours ago.
F Towns. I had the Knicks going to the Eastern Conference Finals without Towns.
I had them going to conference finals last year with Towns.
So we both agree. Eastern Conference Finals. That is the bar that it's needed for an OG, Mikal Bridges, and Jalen Brunson. Oh, Eastern Conference Final bust is more like it. Thank you for the minds that are all thinking together. Randy, you gotta put this down now because the Knicks are legit. If you're gonna be a number 2 seed or number 1, poor Mr. Sean. If you're gonna be one or 2 seed, there has to be some expectations set upon you. Don't duck them, Randy.
Hold on, I see my homegirl Mill waiting. I'm gonna get her on. There we go. Now we're
Mel, the superstar. I'm honored.
How you doing?
How are you? I'm good, thank you. I mean, just trying to process this. Still wild in my head.
I think everybody's trying to process. If you're watching live on X and YouTube, thank you. We appreciate it. Mills Media, AM New York. Congrats on the gig, by the way. Matter of fact,
back up, Randy.
Nobody on these 4 screens have been on the Knicks YouTube channel with Amari Stoudemire and stuff like that. So, congrats to you, Mill. Come on. Let's do it.
No, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. No, I really do appreciate it.
So my first question to you, Mill. Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, OG, Karl Towns, Kolick, Payne, McBride, Shamit, Base Diop, Okeke, whatever his name is, Morris, Achua, Robinson, Sims. How are we looking with this roster? How confident are you in this roster for being Eastern Conference Finals or NBA Finals?
I honestly think we're probably one of the best teams in the NBA now. I did think we were even before this trade, but this obviously puts us in a better position because Cat fills that gap that we had. So yeah, we're looking up there as either finals, ECF. If we get to the ECF, I'll be happy. I want it to be a competitive series. If it's not a competitive series, I won't be happy. I'll be disappointed. It'll depend on the situation, like what happens. But ultimately, I think we're in the position to get to the finals with this team now.
So, Denny and Sean, you got any questions for Mill? Sean, be a guest host for the time being. What you got for Mill?
Look.
First off, Mel, I'm honored to be here with you.
Dude, I'm honored to be here with you.
Look, seeing it's just really dope. Come on, you're the GOAT, but I appreciate that. But it's just really dope to the internet is a beautiful thing. We get to see people and their journeys, and Mel, you just go for it. Like you go for it. You're at all the events. You're at golf events, interviewing Allen Houston and John Starks, and the position you put yourself in allows you to be in the positions that you reach. So I'm really happy for you, and I'm hoping that the Knicks can go for it and put themselves in those positions. I'm hoping that Karl Towns can go for it and put himself in a position to succeed the way that you have. So what would you say the ceiling is for Karl Towns as a performer individually? Like, what do you expect out of him? What do you hope to get from him?
Right. So it's so interesting because we haven't had a stretch big on this Knicks team in a while. I mean, obviously Mitchell Robinson wasn't that for us. Isaiah Hartenstein wasn't that. And I have high expectations for him to stretch the floor. And I want to see this team in a different aspect that we haven't seen before because he can shoot the three, because he can shoot anywhere, really. So I have high expectations for him. I mean, we didn't just give up our All-NBA player and our best shooter for nothing. He has to perform, and he has to perform on a high level. So I'm expecting him and Brunson to be that it duo this season, top duo in the league. Brunson's a superstar, we know that, but I have to see him work well with Karl Anthony Towns. And last season, he averaged 20 and 10. I'm okay with that. That's, I'm okay with another season of that. But defensively, I want to see him improve in that aspect. I want to see him hustle more. We're going to need him to, because especially with Robinson out for the first few months of the season, obviously he's going to, I assume he's going to be taking that center role for the first few months at least. So he needs to replace Robinson's tenacity, his defense, his rebounding, which is a hard thing to do. We know that when Mitchell Robinson is healthy, that's scary, especially defensively for other centers and for other teams. So we need Karl Anthony Towns to try to replicate that in some aspect. Obviously he's not the best defensive center out there, but I'm hoping he can improve that part of his game.
Are you concerned, Mills, about injuries? Are you concerned? Because I ran it by Sean. I said, Sean, OG was hurt. OG got hurt a little bit, banged up a little bit last year. Then you obviously have Mitchell Robinson out. And if Mitchell, this could happen. I don't want to say it out loud, but injuries can be a concern. Is that a concern for you?
It definitely is a concern. Look what happened last season. Even before this trade, injuries were still something lingering in my mind. We were going to have a few players coming off of injury. We have OG coming off of an injury, Brunson. It would have been Randle too. And, Mitch, that's another thing. So injuries are always a concern. Karl Anthony Towns, from what I've heard and seen, he's a little bit injury prone as well. 2022 season, he only played 29 games. Last season, he played 66. So there's a concern with that. But look, I'm not going to manifest any injuries for this team. I want to go into the season healthy. We need to think positively. But you're right, injuries are always a concern. But I'm not going to think about that right now, and we're good right now.
It's early. Yeah, I don't want to see, again, I'm a hater, but I'm a strategic hater. Like, I didn't want to just throw names out or throw things that could possibly happen, because that's going to put, things in the air. I don't want to put things in the air. I just want to put the idea, the concept of where your mind is going to be in the event these things happen, because these guys are going to be valuable. I just mentioned also too, obviously enforcement, because we just saw Cat, you mentioned these conversations with Cat and Soft. And I don't want him to have those words connected to him coming over to the New York Knicks. Because let's be honest. Is there anybody on the Knicks roster that has Soft connected to them?
No.
Anyone?
Not at all. Nobody.
Yeah. So that's not a concern of yours, is it, Mills? That he's going to take some time trying to get accustomed to the New York culture, if you will. Think that'd be a concern?
I'm seeing a lot of people say that he is soft, and that can definitely be an issue. Sean, did you say that?
No, that's Denny. Well, I did say he was soft. He was, yeah. I did say that.
Right. It's a known thing about him. But me personally, I'm not thinking too much about that. Like, obviously, your toughness contributes to your game, how you play, but I'm not thinking too much on that aspect of it. Like, I think that he'll have to adapt to this culture. He'll have to, because the fans won't accept otherwise.
And neither will Jalen Brunson.
Look at that. We were just having a conversation about how it's New York.
I think she is.
Say that again, Mills. He was going in and out.
Glitching out. I'm not sure.
No. Repeat what you just said just now.
Yeah.
She caught us?
Oh, I don't know if y'all can still hear me.
There you go.
You good.
Okay.
She was good? Yeah.
So I just said that he has to adapt to this Knicks culture, to the New York culture, because the fans won't have it any other way. He's going to see it very soon. He's going to learn real soon. what New York is about, especially if he's online, he's going to see it, man. These fans don't go easy on these players. So if he can handle the New York media, the New York fans, that's a question up in the air. But I'm more concerned about his ability to play on this team and fit in with this team.
I brought it up earlier. Matter of fact, we all brought it up that when Mitchell, so opening night, it's going to be Brunson, Hart, OG, McHale, and Towns. Mitchell get back around December, January times. But when Mitchell does come back, if you're Tibbs, do you put Mitchell back in the starting lineup and put Towns at the 4, go with Bridges, OG, and Brunson, or do you keep Hart in the starting lineup?
Oh, that's a tough situation, right? Oh man. I think they should experiment with it because there's been a few teams that have had their own version of the Twin Towers. I mean, even most recently, Cat on his team, the Wolves. And I think a Twin Towers on the Knicks would be sick. I think him and Robinson on the floor together, that's really scary. That's really dangerous for other teams. You're putting two bigs that have very different games, which makes them so dangerous. Robinson would protect the paint and will, defensively be that anchor for us. And then you have Cat, who can just shoot anywhere, can stretch the floor, space it out, be anywhere on that court and have an impact. So I think that's really dangerous. And I would honestly like to see that lineup at one point if, Robinson comes back when he's expected to. Pushing Josh Hart to the bench does kind of suck. But again, he can always try to close out games depending on the lineups. And yeah, I want to see that lineup though.
Sean mentioned earlier, Sean's in the camp of if you're gonna make a trade, do it now. Don't do it midway season. Would you have liked to see them running back to see how Randle would have fit with this new team? The Nova Knicks, we couldn't get one game with the Nova Knicks. Would you prefer do it now? I'm not saying 4 days prior to training camp, but do it before they kick off, or do it midway during the season?
The trade.
The trade, yeah.
Right. I honestly keep wondering in my head if we needed to do this trade, just because there were other trade targets, the Knicks were looking at, that the Knicks were thinking about. I was seeing Walker Kessler, Nick Richards, and, to fill that center spot that obviously we weren't going to have the first few months of the season. So I keep wondering, did we really need to do this, just to fill that center position? Because, we lost an all-NBA player. We lost Julius Randle, who's a huge part of this team. And I was excited to watch him play this season. He's had his moments, and, I've criticized him before, but given with how he was playing before he got injured last season, I was really looking forward to seeing him start the season and bounce back. So it sucks. I think that we should have seen them start the season at least, give Julius Randle another chance. I mean, to play with this team, because look what him, OG, and Brunson did in that month of January. That was insane. That was just a little preview of what that trio was going to do together. So I definitely think that I would have liked to see Randle start this season with the Knicks instead of being moved away. And, I still think we would have made it to the ECF.
Yeah.
Even, we didn't have him in the postseason, so we couldn't get there. I mean, look at all the injuries we dealt with. So I think we would have been able to get there. And like I mentioned before, if you trade for a center like Kessler, at least that fills that spot that you really needed. And it doesn't take away Randle. It doesn't take away Devo, who is was a huge part of this team as well. So yeah, I don't think, I'm wondering if this trade needed to happen, but ultimately if Cat helps contribute to a finals run, then I won't be wondering anymore.
So before Sean chimes in, I know we're going to be very Knicks heavy, but talk about Randle and Donte going to Minnesota. That team just made the conference finals last year. They got the super talented Ant-Man and Edwards. They got Gobert. They got McDaniels. They got Dillingham, Mike Conley. So talk about Randle and Donte going over to Minnesota.
Right. That's such an interesting mix now. I was talking to some fans last night. A lot of people said that Randle and Edwards are not going to work out together, which is interesting to think about. Randle is a pretty ball dominant player. So is Anthony Edwards. They're both the ball dominant. But I think it could still be. I mean, they're obviously a dangerous team. Look how far they got last season. So I still think they're going to be a dangerous team, and they obviously have to work that out. They have to figure out the ball situation between Randle, between Edwards. Randle is an incredible player. Wherever he goes, I think that he's going to make an impact. And especially because he's coming off of a season where he wants to bounce back, where he was hurt, and he wants to make a statement. So if we see Julius Randle ball out and have another All-NBA season, have another All-Star season, I won't be surprised. That's who he is. That's who he was on the Knicks. So if he goes to Minnesota and he does the same thing, I guarantee you he will. But they'll have to work out that fit. And adding Devo to that team is just, you're adding another great shooter, which always helps a team. Teams always need shooters. They always need guys like DiVincenzo, who's a great defender and can shoot whenever you need him to, make baskets. So yeah, they're looking like a very dangerous team once again in the West. I think it's going to be interesting. That's going to be an interesting fit.
All right, Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, like Mel said, I think they're going to be a really good team. I think that Julius, it's going to be important for him to be, we know 40% 3-point shooter Julius, and we know 27% 3-point shooter Julius. So they need him to be as close to 40% 3-point shooter Julius as possible to keep the floor space. But I think that him and Ant-Man are going to be a great tandem. I think that, off the bench, having Rob Dillingham, Donte DiVincenzo, and Naz Reid is a real nice three-person combo off the bench. So they're going to be definitely a great team that's at the top of the West. As far as what we should do when Mitch comes back, honestly, in an ideal world, Mitchell Robinson comes off the bench. And I say that because that means that things are going well prior to his return. Like if we're 32-12 and playing great basketball and Cat is averaging, like my man Blood said, 30 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks. I mean, you don't really mess with that. You just bring. I remember this season when Hartenstein was playing well, and I was like, damn, when Mitch comes back, does he start, blah, blah, blah. And I realized when he got back that it really doesn't matter. Like, we just need 48 minutes of great play at the position. And so if Mitch can come back, and we can still run those twin tower lineups, because like I agree with Mel, I think that's a great concept. It doesn't have to be the starting lineup. We can just have variations where they're out there together. But I hope that we're playing so well and Cat is doing so well at the 5 that there's no reason to now move him to the 4 and kind of do the same thing that Minnesota did.
I put myself in Randall's shoes in Minnesota and asked myself, confirm with me, obviously, last year of his contract. Is that correct?
Yes.
For Randle?
Yeah, Randle. So I put myself in Randall's shoes and I realized I look at myself and, speaking for Randle in my head, I'm just like, well, so all NBA, all-star, last couple of years with the Knicks. And now, that contract's over. And now technically I'm in Minnesota. I have to prove myself again, I would imagine, for the next contract. So this year in Minnesota, playing with Ant-Man and Rudy Gobert and the other boys, he's going to clearly take up Cat's minutes, Cat's scoring, and it's going to be interesting to see how he performs over there with Rudy Gobert in the paint. Because also you have to understand, Randle will play outside, but he likes to play inside the paint too. So that's going to be an interesting strategy coming forward. When it comes to him being on that team, I think Minnesota's 1 point guard away, minus the rookie that's on the bench. There's one veteran away from them in OKC, pretty much running the show. What does Darryl have to say?
Don't forget, Cat's coming back home, playing the Garden every night is different with those expectations, but he better not have forgot where he came from.
Well, listen, once again, wait, where's Cat from originally in New York City? What part? Was he White Plains? Where's he from originally? Long Island?
I believe he's from Jersey.
New Jersey.
Listen. It's Madison Square Garden.
That's right.
Madison Square Garden, Mills. We just spoke and had a conversation about the expectations, and you just said it earlier. You just said that he's going to have to get accustomed to the media, He's going to have to get accustomed to every game. Yeah, did he just say Cat averaging 30 and 12? Listen, I said 20 fair from 19 points, 25, 26 window. All right, we need that. I wouldn't mind 26, 11, and 5, 6. I would love
it. So what's the pecking order? Brunson's option 1. Option 2 is
Cat. There's not even question of who option 2 is. You saw you pulled up the salary. You pulled the salary.
I know. I'm just saying. You know what I mean. I like playing advocate because you get a guy like Mikal Bridges who's getting 24 a game in Brooklyn. So I'm just asking, is Towns number 2? And if it is, then he is.
So I think that it's this weird thing where Karl is option 2, sort of, but Mikal is the secondary playmaker. So they're almost both option 2 in a way, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like,
if I need a bucket and Brunson got the rock, he get double teamed. Like, I'm passing. Who's the guy?
I think that first outlet is Cat. Because that double likely is going to come from the big. Cat's going to like to be in the middle of the floor. He's the big target. It's almost like hitting a tight end. And so, I think that, like that's where almost the majority of our offense in the playoffs, if it wasn't in Jalen Brunson's hand, ran through Isaiah Hartenstein. Because it was like the doubles and blitzes were coming. He was dumping off to Hartenstein, getting the ball in the middle of the floor, and then we were getting back cuts and all that stuff. So I think that the ball is going to go through Towns a lot. But, like, as far as being responsible for creating, like, if Jalen Brunson's on the bench, the ball is going to be in Mikal Bridges' hands.
I feel like they felt that they can win without Randle after having success without also now where is all this Randle love coming from?
Oh, no. It was still here. No, Randle love was always here for me, baby. The hater. Randle always got love for me. I was the true or false Randy J. Cruz. It's in the Game podcast, Mills Media. I hate Sean. I was a heavy defender of Randle. True or false?
No, you was
heavy defender of Randle. I didn't like the way you guys are getting the best shooting big man ever. That's what.
There you go. Say it again.
That's right.
The New York Knicks.
Better than Dirk.
Best shooting big man ever.
The New York Knicks is getting the best big man shooting center ever. So for that statement alone, expectations will be high nonetheless. I think we covered a lot. Don't you agree? I think we covered a lot.
Oh yeah, but I'm gonna let Mill rock out a little longer. She just got here. She was working on some stuff, so I'm gonna let her rock out a little bit. Do you know, Mill, that the Knicks, as of today, had the 3rd best odds of winning the NBA Finals?
Yeah, I saw Knicks Views posted that, which is incredible to see. A few years ago, you wouldn't even imagine that something like that would come up and you'd see something like that online. But I think that's pretty accurate. I think that's very accurate. Like I said when I came on, I think that we're in the position now to get to the finals, given all the options we have, all the players. So, yeah, 3rd best odds. I'm okay with that.
So Mill, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it real. Let's put the bias to the side. All of us, we look at the Eastern Conference right now. We know Boston's a defending champion. Indiana just made the conference finals because we were injured. Orlando's getting better. Philly got better. Milwaukee's going to get a healthy Giannis and Dame. I don't know if they add anybody substantial or they remain the same. Miami's going to be a tough out.
Are you fearful?
I'm not saying we're scared, but it's like
Sean said, "I'm scared of nobody." That's what Sean said.
Is it easy to say that we're gonna be a top seed or top 2 or top 3, knowing that the East is really, really heavy now?
Yeah, I'm not fearful as well. I'm not fearful of the East. I wasn't fearful even before this trade. The confidence I have in this team is up here. So
Banchero don't scare you. Banchero don't scare you.
Oh no, the Magic do not scare me.
Jimmy Buckets don't scare you.
Not anymore.
Tyrese Halliburton don't scare you.
Oh no. Maybe his fits. They
Turn that up, Mel.
Paul George don't scare you.
Paul George, man, he's a great player.
I know who's scared. You know what? I know who scares her.
What?
And healthy Embiid scares you.
but when is he healthy?
No!
Wow.
Turn that up, Bill. Turn that up.
Wow.
I have to wonder, like, when are we going to see that healthy Embiid that I'm supposed to be scared of?
Hey, Mill. Embiid, Mill and Sean. Embiid on one leg, y'all, was giving us 35 and 12. I'm like, yo,
Light.
This guy is amazing. If he had two good legs, we don't know. But one leg, bro, 35 and 12? Come on, man. That's crazy.
Light. Yo, Randy sent back like, yo, what? Who's stopping? Who's stopping this guy? And I'm just like, bro, he's talented. He's talented, bro. He's talented. But no fear.
The narratives and agendas I am going to get off after Karl Towns dominates Joel Embiid are going to upset and anger people. I'm not gonna lie. After we beat Philly and Karl Towns wins that matchup, and I say he's the best big in the East, people are gonna be upset.
I can't wait.
I can't wait. I'm getting some shit up.
Damn, Joel, my African brother Joel. I told Randy earlier, I said, listen, I wasn't happy that my man Joel went over to France for a medal. I was like, bro, you have one knee, one left. You should be home in every sauna room possible. You should literally have 18 ACL surgeries. You should be focused on your knee for Philly. But no, he's coming back. Half a season of rest. He's going to come back and he's going to look you guys, you Philly fans, in the face and say, I want to be here. Oh, I love it here. I love it here. Meanwhile,
Sean, what do you think about this? Ron, I wish McBride would have went over Donte, but I'm on board with the cat trade. I think there's a lot of upside with Deuce.
Donte have more value.
Ron, I'm not mad at what you're saying, but I'm gonna check back with you in December. Coming off the bench and giving us a smooth 13, 15 a game, locking up, fitting the alignments perfectly, and only making $3 million this year.
It's a discount.
You'll get over it. Trust me. Deuce is gonna fill those shoes very well.
The Knicks and Philly games are going to be crazy now with Cat and Embiid history. Oh, that's good. Oh, that rivalry's going to be crazy.
Yeah, Sean said it. That's gonna be top tier. Those are gonna be must-see matchups because they're the two of the premier bigs in the freaking East, and one of them got to go down.
Yo, that's gonna look like WrestleMania, bro.
And here's the funny thing. If you pay attention, Joel Embiid and when he plays, there are times where I look at Joel and I say, you did that on purpose. I don't care what you said.
Of course.
Yeah, you did that on purpose. I don't care what you said. Having stated that, Joel got Mr. Morris on the bench. Okay, got Mr. Morris on the bench. I don't think it'll be good for you to try to rough up your man Cat or Jalen. I don't think it'll be good for you. Giving you fair warning. It's just not a threat, just an understanding of what's going on in the Knicks. Mr. Morris, I can see Coach Tibbs. Hey, get in there real quick for 2 minutes. I need you to close line Joel Embiid real quick, and then just get back on the bench. I can see that happening. So, Joel, the warning is there. Your Philly fans, good luck.
So Knicks 100 said McBride is the better defender, and also said if McBride is off, we got Campaign to slide right onto it.
Yeah. Pain's an addition, but I think Donte played. I've seen Donte defend possibly 3, maybe possibly 4 positions. I know Deuce can go to 1 to 3, but I think Donte's a better defender.
Donte's a good defender. He's not on the same stratosphere as Deuce defensively.
Interesting.
Deuce is like a top 1% defender, in my opinion.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Education.
Deuce be clapping.
On a discount, $3 million on a discount. We're gonna see how long that discount lasts, though.
3 years. He's on a 3-year, $13 million deal. So we got.
He just re-signed. 3-year, $13 million. He just re-signed. Yeah, perfect.
That's great.
You Knicks fans coming from the hater, Denny Blanco. You Knicks fans got a good future ahead of you, and I'm proud of you because you guys have been through a lot. Not like the Brooklyn Nets, unfortunately, but you New York Knicks fans. You gambler on defense, Donte Gambler. You New York Knicks fans, the future is bright for you. I'm happy for you guys, and I'm happy that you have a solid team that you can root for during the season. We will be checking in, I'm sure, every single day to make sure that we're all on the same page when it comes to the Knicks. Randy's going to definitely make sure I'm on the same page. Every win, every Karl Anthony Towns 3, he's going to send me an emoji with 3 phones in the heart. I'm sure Sean's going to be like, yo, what's up with that hate now, D? And I know Mills Me is on Twitter as well. Hey, D, what's going on, man? You man averaging 30. What's going on?
Hey, Ron said, son, we got a Dominican elite player on the Knicks. This is the dream come true. So
there you go.
Cat gonna be backman heavy. I promise you that.
If he's not tapping into his market. If he will. Yeah, if he's not tapping into his market.
He out there right now.
And he's a Yankees fan.
Right here. Felipe Lopez part 2. Mill. So
hell no.
We have the training camp. I think media day coming up in 4 days.
Monday.
It's Monday. So
It's
how
Monday,
excited?
Right? Yeah.
How
Why you asking like
excited?
man, you know you about to be in there.
Oh, word?
I'm not.
Oh, look at
I
that.
wish.
For real? Yo, you should be there. Both of y'all should be
No,
there.
that'd be insane.
Oh man.
Next
know
year,
what's
Mel.
Next year,
Next year we both there, Mel.
No, 100%. You know what's interesting too about it? You mentioned all of that stuff, and it was somebody posting about
Mongoose Mondays.
Mongoose Mondays. Hey, hey, Ron. Hey. Yo, somebody was posting a question from the media. I guess they're, the NBA's coming back, and I think a question posted Steve Kerr like, are you going to start Steph? Like, guys, this is why you bring in It's in the Game podcast, Mills Media, Sean. This is why you bring in people that actually watch the game, not just in a particular time period, that watch the game, study the game, and will have questions already on their mind before they even get into the actual space to ask these questions. It's right there for the taking. We're building our voices for you to come and get us, to bring us into these rooms to ask the right questions, the better questions, the more in-depth questions. Okay? We're tired of it. We're tired.
See,
Do you concur?
The issue with that is that those people that ask those kind of questions, like, they're just around the game. They're near the game. They're by the game. But here, it's in the game.
No!
Oh!
Hey!
Oh man!
Yeah! I have nothing else. I have nothing else to give.
Real quick. So, how extra excited are you for the season? Because 24 hours ago, we thought we were going with what we had, but now things have flipped. You've been a fan for a while. You're probably the youngest fan on this panel right now. But how extra excited are you for this season now?
Super excited. Like, I think I'm about to witness the best Knicks season I've ever seen. Since being a fan, and I really want to take in every game, every moment. I want to be at the games. If this is a team that's going to reach the finals, I want to be able to tell the stories in the future about this team, the moments. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really confident, excited. I know last night I was kind of going through it just because it was an emotional night. Losing Julius, losing Vivo, those are guys who were such a huge part of this team, and especially Randle, I feel especially bad about because he contributed so much to the city. And he just helped build a school. So you think just a few days later and he gets traded. Right. It looks bad, but
his name's on the building though. So it doesn't matter. His name is on the building. His name is we'll never forget. We'll never forget. No.
Once a Nick, always a Nick.
There we go.
Cat with the habituelas hezi pull-ups is going to feed families. That's crazy.
Listen, Cat's not allowed to do pull-up threes. Okay.
They gotta go get real Spanish in there.
He is? I thought that was only regulated to Jalen.
Look, man, if you have a car that can go 160, you don't cap it at driving 60. You got to take it to some, back roads. You got to get the best out of what you have. You don't have the best shooting big of all time and tell him not to shoot.
Yes. Utilize him correctly.
I got two more. Do you guys both? I mean, you guys should both know. One player remains from the 2021 Knicks playoff roster. One player remains
in the league or on the team.
On the team. One
player. On the Knicks team, one player
is remaining from the 2021 playoff roster.
Oh,
Robinson, right?
Big Mitch. Big Mitch. 23
Mitchell
Robinson,
man.
Mitchell Robinson, kid.
The last one left.
One left. No.
Wow.
And that was it. That was a interesting roster, to say the least. And so my last question to Mill, Sean has Jalen Brunson, the 2024-2025 MVP.
Early
MVP.
I like that. I like that.
I like that.
Yeah, I agree with Sean. If Sean says it, it's gonna come true. He's the manifest king, so I believe that. And I honestly thought he was in real considerations for MVP this past season. Obviously he didn't get it, but he was playing like a straight up MVP, especially for this team. So, every season as a Knick, or just in his career in general, he's been elevating, and I expect the same this season. So I'm excited to watch him especially play. It's going to be unbelievable. MVP level season. Let's see it.
I would say MVP. I would say All-Star starter.
Right.
I would say All NBA first team.
Yeah.
Like Tibbs coach of the year. Like now we're going defensive player of the year.
They're gonna finally have to give Leon his executive of the year. They took it from him like 2 times already. They're gonna finally have to give it to him.
I want everyone to stop what you're doing and follow I Hate Sean at I Hate Sean SHAUN. That's right. A different Sean, okay? And then I want you to follow Mills Sports Media, MILS Sports Media. These are our guests today, and they've done a hell of a job. We appreciate you both. Please, It's in the Game podcast. We are going to obviously follow up with you guys, obviously during the season, and hopefully you're free, and hopefully you'll come on and give us some insight on where the Knicks are, where they possibly could be going, and what you feel the season is actually, how the season is going. What say you, Randy?
Mill, I asked Sean the same question. Will you be at the Garden Friday night, January 17th?
Oh God, I hope so. So.
You know why I'm asking you that?
Put her on the game. Put her on the game.
Is that when Julius comes back?
That's right. Minnesota at the Knicks Friday night, January 17th.
We need layaway. I need to put those tickets on layaway.
I mean,
it's like, like
I want to be there so I could give him a round of applause. That's it. I want to give him his respect that he deserves. So I hope he gets a standing ovation before the game starts.
Well, I do know they have a preseason game, Minnesota at the Knicks, but I don't think he's gonna.
No.
We're gonna save all that for January. That he'll be in the building probably, but he ain't playing. But last go around roundtable, Dennis. Any final words?
No, I've said all I needed to say. Denny Blanco has applauded the Knicks for all that they've done. It's going to be interesting to see what they've accomplished during the season. Shout out to Jalen Brunson. I called him the MVP last year with Randy. Randy was jumping up for joy. And this year he has obviously an opportunity to to take that to the next heights. Now, are they going to get 2 or 3 All-Stars with possibly maybe 2, maybe Jalen, maybe Cat? Who knows?
That's a great question. How many All-Stars did the Knicks get this year?
You're welcome.
At least 2 for sure. Jalen for sure. I think Cat for sure. And then I think we're all underselling Mikal Bridges. All of us.
100%. And who do you think? Who do you think is playing? Who do you think plays more games, Cat or Embiid?
Cat.
It better be Cat.
Yeah, Denny lives for chaos.
Thank you. Yes, Agents of Chaos, Randy. That is. I can't fit it in the Twitter profile. Can't fit it in the Twitter profile.
No, you can't. You can't.
Yeah, I can't. I add it on. But thank you once again, everyone, for your tuning in. We appreciate you. Please follow I Sean, follow Mills Meter, follow It's in the Game podcast. Randy J. Cruz, Denny Blanco. You know what it is. You know the vibes.
Sean, Knicks Wall, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Mill Sports Media, continue doing great things. AM
Appreciate
New York,
you guys.
all that good stuff. I know we'll catch up soon during the season. If I see you at the Garden, let's make it happen. Sean, I know you out in Florida. You're in Miami Heat territory, but you're a Knicks fan. I love it. I respect it. I see the Spreewell jersey. I love it. So when you come back to New York, let's make it happen.
I'm there for the home opener, man. I'm outside. Mel, you gonna be at the home opener?
I didn't get tickets yet, but I'm gonna be there in some capacity, whether
There's
it's
still time.
outside or inside.
There's still time.
At least be near. At least be at the bar or something near.
Yeah.
We got to be outside. For the home opener.
Yo, open night.
Yeah, I definitely will be.
Who we got open night again? Who we got?
We got Boston opening night, but the home opener is Indiana. We play the first game in Boston, and then we got the home opener against Indiana.
Indiana, wow.
We need that get back ASAP.
That's right. Denny Blanco, Sean, I hate Sean, Knicks Wall, Mill Sports Media. Thank you for coming on. We greatly appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys
for having me.
It's in the game. You heard?
Yes, sir.